Book summary by Teddy Bear's Storytime.
The Subtle Knife is the second book in Philip Pullman's His Dark Materials trilogy, published in 1997. Following the events of Northern Lights, this book expands the universe of the series by introducing new characters, including Parry, a boy from our world, and new, complex ideas about the nature of parallel worlds. The novel intertwines themes of science, philosophy, and theology, building upon the mysteries of dust and the conflicts between free will and control established in the first book. Lyra Belacqua continues her quest, but now in a new world, where her fate becomes linked with Will's as they uncover deeper secrets about the multiverse and the powers that seek to control it. Characters: Lyra Belacqua, the protagonist from the first book, who now finds herself in a parallel world and continues to search for answers about dust. Parry, a boy from our world who becomes Lyra's ally. He is determined, resourceful, and carries deep trauma from his past. Pan, Lyra's demon, a shape-shifting manifestation of her soul. Serafina Pekkala, the witch queen who remains a key ally to Lyra, providing guidance and support. Lee Scoresby, a Texan aeronaut who continues to play a vital role in aiding Lyra and protecting her from harm. Dr. Mary Malone, a physicist from Will's world, studying dark matter, which is revealed to be related to dust. Sir Charles Latrom, a villainous character from Will's world, who deceives and manipulates both Will and Lyra. Book summary: A New World. The novel opens with Parry, a 12-year-old boy living in modern-day Oxford. He's on the run after accidentally killing a man who was investigating his mother, a woman suffering from psychological distress. Will's world is not full of magic and diamonds like Lyra's. Will stumbles into a mysterious window leading to another world, Sitagaz, a city devoid of adults where he meets Lyra, who has crossed into the same world from the previous book. The Knife. In Sitagaz, Will and Lyra form an uneasy alliance. They discover that the city is plagued by specters, ghost-like entities that prey on adults, leaving children untouched. The two explore the city and eventually come across a mystical weapon known as the Subtle Knife, a powerful artifact capable of cutting through the fabric of reality to create portals between worlds. Will becomes the bearer of the knife after a fierce battle in which he loses 2 fingers, fulfilling the prophecy of the knife's chosen bearer. Pursuing answers. Lyra continues to seek knowledge about dust, the mysterious substance she learned about in the first book. She meets Dr. Mary Malone, a physicist who is studying dark matter in Will's world. Using her alethiometer, Lyra helps Mary make the connection between dark matter and dust. As Lyra delves deeper into this world's science, Will struggles with the responsibility of bearing the subtle knife, and the weight of his quest to find his father. Conflicts and betrayals. Will and Lyra confront Sir Charles Latrom, who steals the alethiometer and forces the children to retrieve the subtle knife for him in exchange for it. Will and Lyra, now bound by trust, must navigate through layers of deception and betrayal. As they face increasing danger from both human enemies and supernatural forces, their bond deepens. The quest for Will's father. Will's primary mission is to find his long-lost father, and the journey takes him across different worlds. The tension escalates as they encounter witches, specters, and agents of the Magisterium. They eventually locate Will's father, John Parry, who imparts crucial wisdom about the knife's purpose. Tragically, Will's father is killed shortly after their reunion, leaving Will emotionally devastated. The battle and the sacrifice. As the novel reaches its climax, various forces converge. Serafina Pekkala and Lee Scoresby fight to protect Will and Lyra, with Lee making the ultimate sacrifice to buy them time. Mrs. Coulter, still obsessed with controlling her daughter's fate, manipulates events from the shadows. The book ends on a tense note, with Will and Lyra realizing they must confront far greater threats ahead, as the stakes have grown to involve not only their worlds but the entire multiverse. Themes. Parallel worlds. The existence of multiple worlds, accessible through the subtle knife, is a central concept. Each world has its own unique characteristics, but they are all connected by the mysterious substance known as dust. The burden of responsibility. Both Will and Lyra face heavy burdens, Will as the bearer of the subtle knife and Lyra as the one who can read the alethiometer. Their actions have consequences for all the worlds, and they must navigate this responsibility while still being children. Innocence and corruption. The specters in Citigas feed on adults, representing the loss of innocence. This theme contrasts with the children, who remain immune, highlighting the tension between growing up and the dangers of adulthood. Knowledge versus power. The novel examines the conflict between the pursuit of knowledge and those who seek to suppress it. The Magisterium, like organized religion, wants to control the flow of information about dust and other worlds, while characters like Mary Malone and Lord Asriel pursue knowledge at all costs. Sacrifice and loss. The characters experience deep loss, from Lee Scoresby's self-sacrifice to the death of Will's father. These moments of sacrifice underscore the novel's darker tone and the high stakes of their journey. Analysis. Development of dual protagonists. The introduction of Will as a co-protagonist deepens the narrative, with both Will and Lyra evolving together as they navigate their intertwined destinies. Complex morality. The novel's characters, particularly Lord Asriel and Mrs. Coulter, operate in shades of grey, with their motives often unclear, making the story morally complex. The knife as a symbol. The subtle knife represents both power and responsibility, capable of cutting through worlds but also serving as a symbol of the heavy burdens its bearer must carry. Interplay of science and religion. Dr. Mary Malone's research into dark matter mirrors the philosophical and theological underpinnings of the novel, with dust being a stand-in for consciousness and the nature of the soul. Tragedy and growth. Will's emotional journey, particularly the loss of his father, marks a significant turning point in his development, driving home the cost of their quest. Conclusion. The Subtle Knife builds upon the rich foundation established in Northern Lights, expanding the scope of the story to include parallel worlds and new, complex characters. The novel expertly weaves together science fiction, fantasy, and philosophy, presenting readers with deeper moral questions and higher stakes. The introduction of Will Parry as Lyra's equal adds emotional depth to the story, while the subtle knife itself becomes a symbol of both power and responsibility. The narrative is darker, filled with loss, betrayal, and sacrifice, reflecting the character's journey toward maturity. The novel concludes with Lyra and Will standing on the precipice of an even greater conflict, with the fate of the multiverse hanging in the balance, setting the stage for the final installment of his Dark Materials. The end. Love the book summary. Subscribe Teddy Bear's Storytime YouTube channel now. Like the video. Turn on the notifications. And leave your comments. See you in next book.